Michigan Family Wellness, Episode 2.
Hydration. Filtered. Filtering your water and staying as hydrated as possible and getting started as early in the day as possible.
Here at Michigan Family Wellness, we believe chiropractic care and nutritional-based therapies are a foundational part of a healthy family lifestyle. No matter where you're at in the mitten, having a family is such an exciting time of life. So instead of feeling overwhelmed by stress, fatigue, and responsibilities with the kids, we invite you to become part of this empowering community to create happy, healthy families. By providing engaging interviews and practical applications, Dr. Wollner cultivates family health by equipping our listeners with the tools they need to elevate wellness in their own family. Dr. Wollner passionately serves the Michigan community at his chiropractic and nutrition-based practice, where he specializes in pregnancy, pediatrics, and family wellness care. And now, here's your host, Dr. Kyle Wollner.
All right, good day, everyone, and welcome to Michigan Family Wellness. I am your host, Dr. Wollner, and I can't wait to bring you today's special episode. We actually have two guests on the podcast today. I've become great friends with Ben Knapp and Dan Allison, who give back to the community by providing world-class training and nutritional care at Power Performance Gym in Livonia. Ben Knapp is the founder, owner, and nutrition specialist of Power Performance. He lives in Walled Lake with his wife Renee and daughter Sophia. He enjoys family time, boating, and reading outside of his professional life. Dan is the director of the Strength and Conditioning program at Power and is a youth training specialist. With a bachelor's degree in exercise science and community health, Dan is fully equipped to help you reach your ultimate goals. One of Dan's passions is working with our kids, helping the younger athletes make the safest, most linear progress they can for their sport. Well, like I said, I am really excited for this interview, guys. Make sure you listen closely to catch all the practical applications, and we talk about an upcoming event live in the community at the end of March here. So great, let's dive in. Okay, welcome to the show, Ben. Welcome, Dan. It's a pleasure to have you guys on the show today.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks for having us, Cal.
This is really exciting. So I've just told our listeners a little bit about you guys as professionals, as experts. Can you tell us a little bit more about Ben the person and Dan the man?
I'm going to do my very best.
Sure, yeah, yes. Go ahead.
I'm Benjamin Knapp. I'm the owner of Power Performance Gym. We're located in Livonia at 12403 Stark Road. I guess if I talk about myself, I always integrate Power Performance Gym because we are one, we are together. So I guess if I talk about the what is most important to me in business, I would imagine that would be things that I tie together personally as well. So, Power Performance Gym as an entity is very excited about creating a very high level, an executive approach to health and wellness. And we try to service our clients at a very, very high level. And the things that we try to do for our clients, I believe, trickles down from our personal development as well. I think I can speak for Dan by saying that it is how we approach our days every day is exactly the type of mantra or mentality that we hope to introduce to our clients, and hopefully they'll integrate into their lives as well. So just being aware of myself, being aware of my health, being aware of my longevity, maybe sprinkle a little legacy on there. And
nice.
Those are exactly the things that I believe is important inside the four walls of our fitness business.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Just to kind of build on what Ben said, all the same things as far as Power Performance Gym goes. Everything that I'll tell you about myself, it's all going to come back to growing and developing Power Performance Gym, helping our clients and athletes reach their goals the most appropriate way possible, and constantly learning to get better, whether that's training knowledge, customer service knowledge, whatever it might be. We're always trying to find ways to do things better and service our clients, service our community the best we can.
Fantastic.
Always growing, always evolving. Yeah.
Nice. Sounds like you guys really practice what you preach too. If you're working with a client, if you're asking them to do specific things with their body and their nutrition, it seems like you guys are doing that yourselves and taking care of your health and
I don't see
about
how I
all
can
that.
ask anybody to
Right.
do anything I haven't experienced myself.
Yeah.
That would include, jumping off a bridge or
Sure.
something of that nature. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, you have to represent. There seems to be a little bit of a lack of truth, if you will, if it's something you've never experienced. So I think
Right.
it's hopefully I'll say this 3 or 4 times. It's definitely going to be the things that I haven't done well that defines us. So.
Awesome.
There's definitely a sense of getting your clients and athletes to buy into what you're doing. So if they know that you've done it yourself, can demonstrate it,
Right.
have gone through a nutrition program, weight loss, this or that, then they're going to be more apt to buy into what you're telling them and believe in what they're doing.
I think that's something that really differentiates, just a standard coach from like a really good coach, or someone that's training with you, that's, pulling you along step by step, challenging you. And yeah, just practicing what you preach. I mean, it makes me think of the broke financial advisor. Why would I take financial advice from someone who, doesn't have their ducks in a row?
I love that. That goes right into, I say that often. I'm like, well, no offense, but I don't take stock advice
Sure.
from cashiers.
Right,
If it was really, really good, so.
There's always that exception to the rule, but you
Right.
definitely should be able to kind of practice what you preach for the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. So awesome. Can you guys, one of the values here at Michigan Family Wellness is family. So, we have a lot of people who are listening who are very family minded. Can you give us a little bit of insight of what family looks like for you guys?
For myself, I'm 29 years old. We go big 3-0 this year. Everyone's making fun of me saying I'm getting old and creaky and stuff. But
That means you have young friends.
Mom, dad, divorced since I was in 2nd grade. Still a very positive experience. They were always there raising us the right way with sports and school and, good encouragement and stuff like that. A younger sister, an older brother, a stepmom, 2 stepbrothers, one older and one younger. And then a girlfriend, Lauren, been together for about a year. And that's family for me.
Awesome.
Well, for me, I guess family, again, tied together, you have your actual family. I have my wife, Renee, and my daughter, Sophia. So, kind of where I'm, as you go through a variety of cocoons in your life and you come out, a new product, I think family to me, really, I want it to resemble my legacy. So now
Sure.
I have my actions and my accountability are directly being placed on my daughter, and so she's going to see how her father works and the things that her father finds of value.
Nice.
And so I hope to again to leave something behind so she can experience just an amazing life and to be her best. But family is also an extension of how would one define family? I don't know that there's a universal
Sure.
definition for that. So family to me just means people that you can count on, people that will pick you up on the side of the road if you're broken down.
Yeah.
So family could be initially as strangers. So family to me is just people caring for one another, very like-minded individuals, and people, again, pursuing very, very similar goals, very similar interests. So through the gym, we have an extension of family, and so we're kind of that weird family values, and we all look like we're adopted. So
You can definitely say our gym member, everyone at our gym is essentially family in one way or another. That's kind of the culture that we promote and create there.
Great. So again, another value here on the podcast is actually being smitten with the mitten.
we love the Smith.
Yeah. Is there anything that you guys can think of off the top of your head? Are you guys from Michigan?
Yes.
What do you
Born and
love
raised.
about Michigan?
Yep.
A trail, a park, a lake? Go ahead.
Let's see here. Well, I grew up in Trenton, downriver, as everyone wants to make fun of. And see some things I always enjoyed. Never really went up north a whole lot or anything like that growing up. Definitely Mackinac Island and like Traverse City and stuff. Definitely really beautiful. Been there a couple times as a younger kid in Traverse City more recently last year. Other than that, I really enjoy the west side of the state. I went to school at Western Michigan University. Places like South Haven, Grand Haven. Just beautiful scenery, all the sand dunes. Just a big fan of the state in general.
Nice.
He is as smitten with mitten as anybody I've
Right,
met.
right.
You're never going to get this guy out of here. So
Well, I did live in Chicago for 2 years and
Okay.
cried my way home.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm here for life.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'll definitely resemble Traverse City. That's somewhere that my wife and child and I go to every year. But we've also been fortunate enough to, I think for me, it's the water. It's the attraction to water. We have her family has a place up north in Houghton Lake, and so we get to visit that often. And then we've recently moved to Walled Lake. So
nice.
They say you come from water, and so you're always attracted to it. So I've been very fortunate to experience those beautiful places, and there's a whole lot about Michigan I wish I knew more about, but I'm very smitten with the places that I frequent, and they're going to be a part of us.
So everybody else might just say going to your guys' house.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. Going back to that unique perspective, that expertise, can you kind of talk our listeners through maybe the mission and the vision of Power Performance? Just what are you guys passionate about, or maybe why are you so committed to the community in this way?
Well, if it starts with me, I think it's really, I'm always preparing for change.
Sure.
And so I think it's very complementary to any business to always be in a state of growth. So I'm hoping the thing that makes us unique is exactly that, is the constant variations that we'll always bring to not only the training room, but just the different ways of trying to help people with certain behavior modifications, with certain mindsets, with certain beliefs. So, as long as I'm a continue and Dan's a continued work in progress, then we're always going to bring something new. So I would imagine the uniqueness probably also comes from finding what formula works best, and being able to admit the things that maybe haven't been as successful. So again, I hope I'll say this a few times. I really believe it's, you could almost call them mistakes that really do define a person. It will be the no's that really create the next big yes. And so I've been through a few of those myself, and I look forward to never having everything figured out, and always being ready to shape shift to whatever's going to be best for myself and make me the best leader I can for my facility.
Right.
Yeah, to kind of build on that, the great Wayne Gretzky said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Love that quote.
So instead of mistakes, we could definitely say we've taken some shots that didn't score a goal right away, and we do our best to keep the mindset of, hey, let's learn from that rather than dwell on that. Let's make this better. Let's constantly looking for solutions to continue and grow, and not letting one thing or another get you down if it didn't work the way that you wanted it to. If there's a new way of doing things that we learn tomorrow, then we implement that tomorrow.
That's perfect. I love being called. If we refer to ourselves as being all about solutions. We're all about solutions. Sure. We want to leave problems behind. Dan's been great with that. He's always positive. And so we're just constantly looking for solutions.
Yeah. Great. One question our listeners might have for us that I want to make sure we cover is, there's lots of gyms out there. And myself, I've checked out your website, powerperformancegym.com. I've checked out your Facebook. Everything looks amazing, by the way. You guys are doing an awesome job with that.
Thank you.
But really, there's CrossFit gyms out there. There's, core training gyms, Pilates. What differentiates Power Performance from these other options that are available to people?
It's a great question, Colin. And, it's a question that may be tough for people to figure out just looking at our social media or website or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. We've got a lot of similar equipment, you could say, in space to some various CrossFit gyms or other places, with Rogue Fitness, brand of equipment, this and that. And what separates us from things like that is, well, A, we're not CrossFit, B, we're not, a yoga studio, this and that. We're, a place of strength and conditioning, and that seems like simple terms, but that's going to sum up, any human movement, any human development. And we're going to take each athlete or each client that comes in the door through an assessment. We're going to learn everything we can about them from a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint, goals, and everything. And from there, we're going to kind of pick the methods that are going to allow them to reach those goals in the safest, most effective manner. So that being said, if it happens to be, someone comes in looking to, just maybe get a little bit leaner, get a little bit stronger. It was between coming to us and going to a CrossFit or something.
Right.
Well, maybe instead of having them do, overhead squat or, whatever the exercise might be, we're going to pick the exercise that's going to be the safest, most appropriate for them at that time. So that could be a goblet squat, it could be front squat, whatever it might be, or maybe they just need to get on the ground and restore some primal movement patterns with some rocking, things like that. So we're going to have an individualized approach. We're never going to have a workout of the day, so to speak, and there's nothing wrong with that if you don't care about maximizing the individuality of everyone you're working with, kind of cutting some corners. But even with having similar exercises, everybody needs to be coached different. Everyone's body's different. Everyone's movement's different. Everyone's learning style is different. So,
yeah,
a lot of that really gets left to the idea of an individual's perception being reality. Okay, so. I don't really feel that we're in competition with anyone, and I hope other gyms feel the same way. I believe there's plenty to go around. You experience that in your world as well. So we don't spend any time trying to market ourselves as better than or different than. I think we just we're trying to have a very healthy promotional aspect to our business. But we believe that we can be not only an entry point for people into exercise and health, again, by the way we evaluate a client, by the way we create all of our program design, like Dan was saying, everything is customized, but it's based on a needs continuum, so if a professional lifter came to us, their needs continuum is going to be very, very different. So maybe we just need to clean up some form, maybe mobilize some tissue that's been maybe overactive and overdevelopment, maybe making sure we're doing some tweaking in their program where we offer a little bit a better value for lifting progression. But by using the needs approach, so we can be that entry point, we can be that mid-level point. And I think it's important for our listeners to, as long as you are in an environment that offers progression and that offers a system that things can be looked at, and you're doing some progress tracking, and you enjoy where you're at, I think that's the most important thing. So what's the biggest ailment to humans today is the fact that we're too sedentary.
Right.
So if you tell me you're at a boot camp, I'm just going to say great for you.
Which is ironic because we're sitting down as we're recording the podcast.
We should be doing some high knees or something.
I know, we should be standing with boom mics.
My abs are tight at least.
Right.
So Power Performance Gym can be a solution place for you, it can be a launch place for you, and it can be a progressive place for you. But if you have those things wherever you're at, then we're very happy for you. We're very happy that you've taken or you've acknowledged the need to be physically active, and we wish everyone the same success.
I guess what we could say to answer that question more specifically after what we both just said is that we're going to be an outlet to help you be in better shape for whatever it is you want to do. So if you want to do CrossFit, if you want to compete in CrossFit, and that's what I'll tell people, if they're going to get into CrossFit, do it because you're interested in competing. Don't just do it to stay in shape. Then we're going to give you all the tools that you need to have the most symmetrical, bulletproof body that you can have to be able to attempt to do CrossFit. Same thing with strength sports, powerlifting, strongman, Olympic weightlifting. If someone were to come to us with goals of competing in that, then we'll do everything we need to do to get them ready for a program that's going to allow them to do that.
We would love everybody to do an overhead squat, but how many people are ready for that?
None at all.
None.
Right.
So hockey, football, soccer, whatever it might be, the preliminary steps are going to be building the foundation of that person's body to a point where they can withstand the practice and the skill-specific training that they're going to need to perform that sport at the most appropriate level for them.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the community of people that you work with in terms of, are these people coming to you saying, hey, Dan, I want to be able to train in a CrossFit competition? Or would you say there's a percentage of people who are, stay-at-home parents or stay-at-home moms, they've got kids, they just want to be in better health? What's the demographic like?
I think we're primarily referred.
Yeah.
So people have a tendency to travel in packs. So our house moms or housewives are going to probably have a network of housewives. So they're a referring source for that. Our athletes are going to tell other athletes. about what we've done. So we're we're ready for any walk of life.
Right.
So I would imagine being primarily referred based, we have a variety of people. Our community is everything from, again, beginnings to people who have very high aspirations of going very far, maybe professionally in sports. So I think both of them are equally challenging. We don't spend any less time getting our, again, moms moving better the same way we will these very high-level athletes. You would think that the types of things that these guys and gals can do is amazing. But it's amazing when we have them all in the same room together, how they're all doing very similar things. And so I like that part of it.
Yeah. No, that's great. One of the values, again, at Michigan Family Wellness is not only chiropractic, but nutrition. Can you tell our listeners more about what role nutrition plays at Power Performance?
Well, unfortunately for people that we want to do business with, this is the ultimate role.
Yeah.
Okay? You have nothing without, we talk about foundation. Well, there is no foundation without food, without nutrients. You do not put water in a gas, in a gas can. You do not put diesel in a Lamborghini. So it's a foundation for all of us. One thing that we are looking to improve on more is how we intake our clients and really make nutrition our main focus. It's like, so when we want somebody that, say, wants to lose weight, it's a great reason why people come and join us. Right. The most important things we need to be doing with them is helping them decide what to eat, when to eat it, and why that's important. If you have a certain amount of inflammation in the body, nothing that we do on foam rolling, your chiropractic table, or anything is going to get them moving any better if we can't get a certain level of inflammation out. So you'll hear me say the continuum a lot. So the nutrition is the same thing. Nutrition is a continuum. We try to find out what they're doing and give them as many healthy steps as they can absorb into continuing a healthier process, wherever that may be for that individual.
Yeah, I mean, it's the start and the finish, because if we have a results continuum where you have nutrition on there, training on there, sleep, anything that would lead into one reaching their goal. If nutrition's not there to set that foundation, to put training on top of, put recovery on top of, they're never going to recover, never going to see results, because at the end of the day, we're after changing one's physiological state inside their body. So if all we have is garbage with food, then using these awesome conditioning protocols on top of that, it's really not going to get the job done and reach that physiological state that we want them to be in.
Right.
Well, what's that very famous saying? You cannot out-train poor nutrition.
Yep.
So,
you really can't.
We think if we're doing our job really well, people will know us more for that.
Unless your goal is to give yourself celiac disease and just maybe have a little bit bigger bench press.
Yeah.
Go for it, but still you're gonna have a bigger bench press from eating some paleo type carbs and taking care of yourself a little bit better.
Yeah, I love the other. I mean, you mentioned that quote, but how does the saying go? Ounces are lost in the gym, pounds are lost in the kitchen.
I love that. That's great. That's
something
fantastic.
Like that. Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you guys on the podcast. Was there's CrossFit gyms out there. There's other, fitness centers. But what I like about you guys is not only do you customize and tailor that workout plan, that training for the client, but you also walk them through the nutrition. And I think the combination of that, the synergy of that, is huge, especially for the community.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts on that?
Yeah. It's like we want longevity. This is our passion. So there's also a certain if we're going to stay in this quote game for the next 25 years without the multiple pieces, without the layer upon layer of various behavioral models, we can't withstand constant changes in economy. But when we have everything people that need, I think that I think it's just going to help us kind of sustain a certain level of lifestyle and allow us to stay around long enough to continue to have help more people, have more referrals, do more things. So you have to have a certain amount of sustainability to accomplish all the amazing things that we want to do inside the business. So nutrition, without it, I think that's why there's a lot of you mentioned a lot of gyms, but there's probably a lot of turnover as well, and that's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that people don't make it when I'm sure you've opened a gym for all the right reasons.
Right.
So
Right.
we've been doing this now I've been in the nutrition game now for about 13 years, and so I think it's starting to stick.
Nice.
And we try not to force anybody into anything. We try to create as much awareness as possible of saying, hey, if you cut your habits right now that you have nutritionally and we improve these nutritional habits over X period of time, you're going to see these results a lot faster. And, if you don't, you're going to see some results, but they're definitely not going to come as fast. And, I guess you could look at anyone who's had major weight loss success with us in the past. It's all come when they've decided to put the foot on the gas as far as their nutrition goes.
That is the main coefficient, yeah.
Awesome. You guys, you are bringing the content today. I love it. This is invaluable information.
Thank you.
What should people be listening to or possibly reading for improving wellness in their family?
That's a great question.
Whether it's a
Follow
book
us.
or, yeah.
Follow us. I guess, what do they say? The most important program for you to be on is the one you're not on.
Okay.
The most important eating plan for you is the one you haven't tried.
Or the one you're going to do, the one you're going to stick to, whatever that might be.
If I had to mention anything, I love the South Beach a way for people to eat. I think the Mediterranean diet is a great place to start. But even things like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig, people have had some success there. So I think the most important thing is, again, doing something that you're not already doing. And the value will come with the application. And so where Weight Watchers, not to say anything negative, a lot of people's lives have been changed through it. I don't think that that's a program that you can stay on forever and continue to sustain, I guess, what we would refer to as progress.
Right.
But if it's a place that you get started, and it's a place that you start new behaviors, and you start making
structure.
Yeah, just any sort of structure. I think anything could be great.
Awesome.
And as far as nutrition resources, I would definitely say just raising awareness on what's good food, what's stuff you should stay away from. Dr. Johnny Bowden has got some great books out there. Evidence-based research and everything. Fantastic. See who else we got?
Dr. Mark Hyman can open your eyes. Even Suzanne Summers, she's got a couple of great books. She's a wonderful author. Probably some of the easiest books to read, and they can. I think one of her books I really liked was Ageless, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So she, if Oprah comes out with something that gets people eating more organic fruits and vegetables, then hey, go buy it.
You'll have to help me with the author about the book, The Yoga of Eating.
Oh, the yoga diet. I guess if that
just as far
author
as
is listening,
mindset goes,
I apologize.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is getting people comfortable with nutrition. A lot of people just really stress themselves out. Eat themselves up about it. No pun intended. And just getting people comfortable and creating awareness with them so they know how to make different choices. When they're out to eat, they're not going to stress out if the one thing that they plan on is not in the menu. They're going to kind of have some audibles and know how to take care of themselves.
If you're going to Google anything, I guess, even though it's misused, but again, it's a great place to start, just Google paleo.
Yep.
Just think as originally as what we came from. Some meat, some fats, some things that come from the earth-based food, and we'll have a whole lot less to talk about.
I was going to say, we could be talking all day about food and nutrition and, the current food environment, world, industrial agriculture, and all of that. But Ben, you mentioned practical applications. What are your top 3 or maybe your top 1 or 2 practical applications for how MFW listeners can foster and cultivate wellness in their family?
Hydration. Filtered. Filtering your water and staying as hydrated as possible, and getting started as early in the day as possible.
Gotcha.
Getting your hydration in first thing in the morning, and get your breakfast in first thing in the morning. The reason I mention those is because if you do skip those things, then you're doing what I refer to as chasing your tail the rest of the day. I don't think you can trust your hunger. I don't think you can trust your mental capacity if you are not starting your days a certain way. So to do that is going to change the next 24 hours of your rhythms. To not do that, we don't know what we don't know. So I think those things are the most profound changes that people can make, is starting right when their feet hit the floor.
Dan, what would you say?
And with all the information out there at our fingertips, people are going to be like, oh, well, what about intermittent fasting? I don't need to eat breakfast, this and that. I'm like, well, you don't, but we're talking about getting some habits started. So let's start with hydrating first thing in the morning. Let's start with breakfast. You get that down. You show that you can own those habits for a while. And we're talking while. We're talking weeks, months, years. Don't think in days. Think in terms of long time with habits and results.
A marathon.
And then you can kind of build from there. So let's say that you're a person that breakfast made you kind of lethargic, depending on what it consisted of. Well, maybe maybe you hire up a nutrition coach and you look at more of a starting to eat later in the day type plan. But that's just like training, becomes specialized as you move forward.
Yeah, that's great.
But I would definitely say those two things: the water, starting habits of breakfast, some sort of daily movement as well. Whether for children, whether that's their phys ed, meaning they're actually getting phys ed in, playing a sport, that's great. If they're not playing a sport, well, get them doing something. And be an example as a parent, as an adult. It's not that difficult to get up off your butt and do some mobility exercises that you might find on our YouTube page or what have you. Or go for a walk. Go for a walk and have a conversation with your spouse or your partner or best friend, whatever it might be.
That's great. That's great.
Awesome. You guys, this has been really great. I know we talked about this in the pre-chat, but is there anything coming up in the near future where the community can get involved and learn more about what we're talking about here today?
Well, it's so funny that you say that, Dr. Kyle Wallner. Is we are having with the Dr. Kyle Wallner, we're starting our movement series and we're going to be starting with the hip hinge.
Okay.
We believe in exercise. It's the most important movement pattern that you can have to give you all those gains or losses that you want. So we are doing that on March 26th at 11 a.m.
March 26th? Okay.
I believe you'll be doing the presentation.
Yeah, actually.
And then this guy over here is going to be handling a lot of the practical. And so we're going to give people some takeaways, some things that they can take home, either apply it to their training program that they're already doing, or again, they could be a great launch point for people to start doing some really basic things at home. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, if you absolutely have no experience with strength training, have never seen it, or maybe you just have some misconceptions on strength training, definitely come check it out. We're going to kind of go over to some basic benefits of movement, of strength training, why it's good for you, why you should be doing it a certain way with a qualified professional, and and just kind of get everybody comfortable with that. For people who have more of a lifting experience or background, maybe you're someone who's gets a stiff low back when you're after you deadlift or kettlebell swing or shovel the snow.
Squatting.
Maybe you're an emergency responder and you're picking up human bodies, like a couple of our clients, and their low back's always hurting them. Well, let's clean up that hinge pattern. Let's create some strength there. So we've got a little something for everybody with that. It's going to be physically doable for anybody and everybody. We'll have plenty of coaches on hand.
Yeah, what if I'm just, a mom at home with some kids and my back hurts and, is this an event for me? Or
this most definitely is an event for you. Most definitely. You also have an opportunity to meet a lot of similar individuals that we train that can kind of make you comfortable and just kind of give you a heads up of, hey, learn this leg raise pattern and this breathing pattern on the ground. Listen to these guys on this hip hinge pattern, and before you know it, you're going to be deadlifting an appreciable amount of weight, having some fun with your strength training, looking good, be able to do all these household things, without any pain anymore.
Yeah, and to just piggyback off what you're saying there, I think that's kind of the foundational vision, at least on my end, for the workshop itself. Is you have this foundational movement that people do every day. Bending over, whether it's picking something up off the ground or reaching for something in a low cupboard, picking up a laundry basket, and honestly, that's how a lot of patients present into my office. Doc, I was just bending over and I hurt myself. I wasn't doing a 300-pound squat or a deadlift or whatever. And so that's why, I really want to team up with you guys and be able to present this invaluable knowledge and this invaluable movement and, educate the community on, how to elevate wellness in their family, experience more life, more joy with their family, because they no longer have this debilitating back pain or these, consequential issues that come from those faulty movement patterns. Anything to add?
Yeah, it's just been awesome to watch. I think even for me, it's been awesome to see things in their very simple state,
right.
Things done very, very easily, and how the benefits like get magnified day over day over day, like a very basic being on your all fours and doing a basic hip rocking pattern and things of that nature. Just the profound effects it has, not only prepping people for a nice intense session, but again, how we have people now doing this on a daily basis, and how, look at a lot of, I see people like walking on the streets. I always look at their posture. I see runners. I always look at how they're running, how their gait looks, and I'm like, wow, that doesn't look comfortable,
Right.
So women that wear high heels,
Absolutely.
men that have, dress shoes. These shoes are built for aesthetics. They are not built for better biomechanics for human development. So just simply the uniform that we have to wear, being machinists, standing on concrete floors, wearing high heels to the office, guys that have a little bit of a tummy that's kind of throwing them into a pelvic tilt. I think it'll be an amazing, probably by majority of it, amazing seminar for anybody that suffers from any hip, low back type pain.
So what you're saying is you don't want to miss this. This is going to be huge.
I think it's going to be great. I think, especially when applied, it will, it will just rev us up. I would imagine we'll be doing it very quickly again for those that don't come, because I think the people that do make it are going to have a lot of amazing things to say about it. Yes.
Great.
Yeah, that being said, it doesn't matter who you are, if you have pain, no pain, if you lift, if you don't lift, it doesn't matter. Everybody who comes to this, by the time they leave, is going to be able to kind of figure out, like, okay, I need to improve my hip hinge pattern for X reason. Maybe you're someone who needs to just actually be able to do it. Maybe you're someone who's vastly overweight, and your realization is that you need to get your nutrition together to be able to hip hinge and get your body in a little better position. Or maybe you're someone who does have that pain, and we're going to teach you some things to be able to do to get rid of some of that pain, whether it be some of the rocking that Coach Ben's talking about, some breathing exercises. We will be doing some preliminary kind of preparation or kind of check down exercise to get everybody ready to stand up, do our hip hinge, do our deadlift type patterns. So a little something for everybody.
And I do want to add that we're also excited to expose our clients to Dr. Kyle Wallner.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Awesome. I think your approach to everyday life, I think your approach to wellness, that's what I love. It's I think it's in the small business industry, it's like everybody feels like they're on an island on their own, and we don't. We want to be a part of that community, and we want to build our own, or just be a part of other people's. So we're very thankful that you thought enough of us to bring this all together. So we are mutually excited to have you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I say on every podcast here, is that we can do far more together than we could ever do apart.
That's great.
But you guys, I have loved talking with you today. For our listeners, how can they get in touch with Power Performance? Do you guys have a website?
Well, we have somebody that stands out on the road and flags people in. www. POWR, Power Performance Gym.
POWR.
Yeah, we could not afford the E,
All
so
right.
we are POWR Performance Gym. .com, and we are also on Facebook, same spelling, Power Performance Gym. Kind of learn a little bit about us and the things that we believe are important.
And
sure.
Within that, you'll find some contact info, whether it's email. You can always message us on Facebook. You'll see our other social media outlets with Instagram, YouTube, all that, and folks out there, take a look. You can take a look at some of our training videos, see some of the exercises you'll be exposed to.
Yep. You mentioned you guys have a YouTube channel or something like that?
You can find the links. Again, you can just Power Performance Gym on YouTube, which we actually started very new on that, and I'm glad you mentioned YouTube. Because as a lot of our, I don't want to say our policies have changed, but as we evolve, I think it's important that we have the most up-to-date videos available for people, because I do think that if people land on a YouTube page, I believe that should be an entry point to who we are today and who we are in this moment. So it's in a rebuild process, but we look forward to adding a lot more content to that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you guys, I'm excited for the event coming up at the end of March here. I believe we mentioned it was Saturday, March 26th. And I will be posting links, and our listeners can find all the information that we talked about today on the show notes page for MichiganFamilyWellness.com. So definitely check out that website where we're going to link to Power Performance Gym. We're going to link to their Facebook so everyone can get in touch with them and learn more about the event that's coming up and their YouTube page and everything that goes along with Coach Ben and Coach Dan. And is that the team, or is Lauren part of the team too, I believe?
Coach Lauren's part of the team
Lauren?
as well, yeah.
All right.
We had to leave her behind. She's working. She's working today, so we were able to get away while we keep her slaving away. But Lauren has been a great addition to our team.
Fantastic.
She has a little bit of a physical therapy background. She's continuing her education, and she's been a wonderful piece to our family, and we look to continue to grow.
I love it. Ben and Dan, thank you for giving back today. Best wishes to you guys and your families. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to the workshop. And I'll just say this one more time because I really believe it here. We can do far more together than we can ever do apart. Coming to you from beautiful Southeast Michigan, I'm your host, Dr. Wallner, and this is Michigan Family Wellness.
Now that you've been equipped with the latest in family wellness solutions, we want to encourage you to apply these strategies right away. But the thing is, there's still so much to learn. Connect with Dr. Wallner's Chiropractic and Nutrition Office by going to MichiganFamilyWellness.com and click the newsletter sign-up button to join the informative and supportive community of chiropractic wellness. You will also receive as a gift from Dr. Wallner a copy of Michigan Family Wellness Solutions, an invaluable resource containing dynamic tools to elevate family health and vitality. Michigan Family Wellness wants to thank you for being part of today's podcast. Please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and review.